Hi guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my December and January book outlet haul for you. So stay tuned. So things have been kind of crazy around here and I haven't gotten around to filming my book outlet hauls lately. So I'm kind of doubling up a little bit here. So I've got my December and January book outlet haul, and then later I'll do my February book outlet haul. But for now, I have one box for December and another for January. So let's get into these. I got a coupon. Yay. So it expires 3 months after. So this came in December. So I need to use this soon. Got my receipt here. Then we've got pepper, and pepper. I have some books in here that I'm very, very excited about. Okay, so the first one is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and this is a signed copy, which is pretty cool, I think. It looks like it came from a place called BJ's and it was only $13. Black with silver font. There is the autograph. Church is attacking the paper. So what I gather from this book is that our main character, Aza, who is 16 years old and who also, I believe, deals with OCD, I think. Her and her best friend are playing detective and trying to hunt down this fugitive billionaire with a $100,000 reward on his head. And I've heard nothing but good things about this, and when I saw it come up on Book Outlet, I like snatched it up immediately. Don't know if there are any more of these available on there or not, because I don't think there were a whole lot of them. But if you haven't read it and it's on there, you should snatch it up. And I got this for $5.89. Okay, so the next book I have in here is A Poison, Dark and Drowning by Jessica Cluse. And this is the second book in the Kingdom on Fire series. And the first book is A Shadow, Bright and Burning. And I actually am going to be reading this for the Spring Into Reading-a-thon. So I might end up reading this in the sequel-a-thon that follows. This series is about a girl named Henrietta who is the first female sorcerer. It is believed she is the prophesied one, and well, she can burst into flames. And then she's whisked away to train with Her Majesty's sorcerers. They're all men, and they're all eager to test her abilities, and one's going to challenge her, one's going to fight with her, and one is going to betray her. And I got this for $4.79. Okay, so the next book we have in here is The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. And I believe this was a book that I saw recommended from Kayla over at Books and Lala. And she loves thrillers, and I think this was one of those that she really enjoyed, so I wanted to check it out. And it says, readers will love the skewed psychology and shifting perspectives of this domestic thriller. And that was the library journal. This says, when you read this book, you will make many assumptions. You will assume you are reading about a jealous ex-wife. You will assume she is obsessed with her replacement, a beautiful younger woman who is about to marry the man they both love. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. Twisted and deliciously chilling, The Wife Between Us deftly explores the hidden complexities of marriage and the dangerous truths we ignore in the name of love. Read between the lines. And a couple other blurbs say, a psychological suspense at its best. Scary and troubling and stunning and amazing, all rolled into one of the best thrillers of the year. And that was Nancy McFarlane, Fiction Addiction. Also, easily the best book of the girl genre that I've read since Gone Girl. Steph Schmidt, Water Street Bookstore. So I am looking forward to reading this. And this was $8.59. Okay, next up is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandre Cristo. And I'm so excited to have this book. As y'all know, I love me some fairy tale retellings, and this is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, but dark and twisted, which that just sounds like fun to me. And this was $6.39. Okay, next up is The Savage Dawn by Melissa Gray. This is the third and final book in the Girl at Midnight series, which I have here. And I love these covers so much. Okay, so let me tell you about The Girl at Midnight. And this says, beneath the streets of New York City live the Hixson, an ancient race of people with feathers for hair and magic running through their veins. Age-old enchantments keep them hidden from humans, all but one. Echo is a runaway pickpocket who survives by selling stolen treasures on the black market, and the Hixson are the only family she's ever known. Echo is clever and daring, and at times she can be brash, but above all else, she's fiercely loyal. So when a centuries-old war crests on the border of her home, she decides it's time to act. Legend has it that there is a way to end the conflict once and for all. Find the Firebird, a mythical entity believed to possess power the likes of which the world has never seen. It will be no easy task, though if life as a thief has taught Echo anything, it's how to hunt down what she wants, and how to take it. But some jobs aren't as straightforward as they seem. This one might just set the world on fire. And besides the fact that I absolutely adore these covers, they sound so incredibly interesting. And now I have the complete series when I want to get around to reading them. And I got this for $5.89. And the last book in my December box is Challenger Deep by Neal Shusterman. And I have really been enjoying Neal Shusterman's books lately. I read the Scythe series, and I'm excitedly waiting for the third of those books. And I've been recently reading the Unwind series, and I'm really enjoying that. And I remember listening to Neal Shusterman talk at Y'all Fest about writing Challenger Deep and the meaning that it's had for him. I wanted to get this when I saw it come up on Book Outlet. So this says, Caden Bosch is on a ship that's headed for the deepest point on Earth, Challenger Deep, the southern part of the Marianas Trench. Caden Bosch is a brilliant high school student whose friends are starting to notice his odd behavior. Caden Bosch is designated the ship's artist in residence to document the journey with images. Caden Bosch pretends to join the school track team, but spends his days walking for miles, absorbed by the thoughts in his head. Caden Bosch is split between his allegiance to the captain and the lure of mutiny. Caden Bosch is torn. A captivating and powerful novel that lingers long beyond the last page, Challenger Deep is a heartfelt tour de force by one of today's most admired writers for teens. And there are different illustrations throughout that his son, Brendan illustrated for this, which I thought was pretty cool. And I got this for $4.29. So I got all 6 of these books for $35.84. And then I used $20 in rewards and got them for $15.84, which is pretty awesome for 6 books, I think. Oh, and if you're interested in placing an order for Book Outlet, I always put down in the description a link where you can go and get $10 off your first order of $25 or more, which is an amazing savings with Book Outlet. Okay, now on to my January box. Okay, got my receipt here. Looks like I got another 6 books in this one as well. Okay, so we've got paper and paper. Sorry if there was an angle change, but my battery died. Okay, so the first 2 books we have in this box here are Dividing Eden and Eden Conquered. So let me just tell you about Dividing Eden, because Eden Conquered is the second book. But how pretty are these covers too? Okay. So this says, Who better to find your weakness than the one who shares your blood? Twins, Caris and Andreas, were never destined to rule Eden. With their older brother next in line to inherit the crown, the future of the kingdom was secure. But appearances and rivals for the throne can be deceiving. When Eden's king and crown prince are killed by assassins, Eden desperately needs a monarch, but the line of succession is no longer clear. With the ruling council scheming to gain power, Caris and Andreas are faced with only one option: to take part in a trial of succession that will determine which of them is worthy of the crown. As sister and brother, Caris and Andreas have always kept each other safe from their secrets, from the court, and from the monsters lurking in the mountains. But the trial of succession will test the bonds of trust and family. How long before suspicion takes hold and the thirst for power leads to betrayal? With their country and their hearts divided, Caris and Andreas will discover exactly what each will do to win the crown. And this one's white with silver font. And this one is gray with silver font. I just love these covers so much. And this was $6.39 and Eden Conquered was $5.89. Okay, next up is The Dazzling Heights by Catherine McGee, and this is the second book in the 1000th Floor series. And the 1000th Floor is about, well, pretty much an entire city living in one gigantic skyscraper, where the lower houses, apartments, whatever you want to call them, are for the poor, and the more money, more social status you have, the higher up. And Avery is the girl that lives on the 1000th floor at the very top, and you get to meet lots of characters and see from lots of different perspectives in that book. And it starts out with a girl falling from the roof of the 1000th floor, and we don't learn who that person is until the end. You kind of get ideas of who it might be, and you never really know until the end. And then, well, there's a bit of a cover-up, and this book is pretty much trying to uncover the cover-up. And this was $6.39. Okay, the next book is Allied by Amy Tintera, and this is the third book in the Ruined trilogy, and I have that right here. Those go so well together. Let me just read you what it says about Ruined. A revenge that will consume her, a love that will ruin her. Emiliana Flores has nothing. Her home in Ruina has been ravaged by war. She lacks the powers of her fellow ruined. Worst of all, she witnessed her parents' brutal murders and watched helplessly as her sister Olivia was kidnapped. But because Em has nothing, she has nothing to lose. Driven by a blind desire for revenge, Em sets off on a dangerous journey to the enemy kingdom of Lyra. Somewhere within Lyra's borders, Em hopes to find Olivia, but in order to find her, Em must infiltrate the royal family. In a brilliant, elaborate plan of deception and murder, Em marries Prince Casimir, next in line to take Lyra's throne. If anyone in Lyra discovers Em is not Casimir's true betrothed, Em will be executed on the spot. But it's the only way to salvage Em's kingdom and what's left of her family. Em is determined to succeed, but the closer she gets to the prince, the more she questions her mission. Em's rage-filled heart begins to soften. But with her life and her family on the line, love could be Em's deadliest mistake. And I got Allied for $5.89. Okay, so this next book is a book that I learned about from Chelsea Darling over at Chelsea Darling Reads, and it's something that she raved about like a lot and still does, and that is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. And I know this is like a magical realism There's a family where all of the women have some kind of slightly magical ability or something, and our main character, she's coming up on her 18th birthday, and her skill or special ability or whatever hasn't shown itself yet, and they're on this island where this allegedly 300-year-old bird comes to nest once a year, and it's just, I guess, what happens over that summer, and I guess something happens to throw suspicion onto her family. And this is supposed to be really, 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 really good. Like, Chelsea freaking loves this book and just goes crazy over it, and so I want to know what it's all about. So I got this for $5.89. Don't know if there's any more available on Book Outlet or not, but when I saw it come up, I snatched it right away. There may still be some up there. You'll have to go and check for yourself. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, in this box I have All the Ever Afters by Daniele Teller, and this is the untold story of Cinderella's stepmother. And as I said before, and I'm sure most of you already know, I am obsessed with fairy tale retellings, and I love this whole the wicked stepmother's backstory, kind of like how she became to be who she is and who we know her as. And I recently read Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and that kind of did the same thing with the Queen of Hearts, and that was a 5-star book for me, and I absolutely adored it. So I'm really looking forward to reading this as well. And I got this for $7.99. Oh, and this also has deckled edges. Very pretty. It's a pretty spine too. So I got all 6 of these books for $38.44, and again I used $20 in rewards and got them for $18.44, which is amazing. I freaking love Book Outlet. It is definitely my favorite place to shop for books. I'm obsessed. So this is my December and January haul. I am so excited to read all of these books just as soon as I can. You know, I just have to add them to the other million books I have on my TBR. Have you guys read any of these books? If so, comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you.